Hello everyone and welcome back to Dokkan Experience. Today, oh, you see him. You see him shooting that beam at Goku. We're here today to talk about probably the prettiest animations I've ever seen in this game and the best transformation sequence I have ever seen in this game. So, let's talk about that. Look at that animation. It is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And he has I don't know if it's a counter or what it is, but he has something that seems very interesting. So Goku comes at you and Cooler just kind of whacks him like this. I don't know if that's a counter or if that's like a full like SA animation. If it starts there and it goes all the way to the end of the Plant Me a Dumbass Tree thing from TFS. So we also have this Cooler's Armored Squadron, which is very interesting. They give Ki plus 2? No, they give Ki plus 320% to something. I'm not necessarily sure what category it is. I would assume it'd be Lineage of, not Lineage of Evil. What is the name of the new category? Conquest of Fear. So I would assume it'd be Conquest of Fear of some sorts. Or perhaps it's a different category that I'm not sure. We don't have the translations for that card because no one wants to make translations for the SSR card, like the basic banner SSR, when there's a new, beautiful transforming Cooler on the horizon over here. So, let's go over Cooler while we're watching this amazing stuff. So, Cooler is the leader of the Conquest of Fear and Transformation Boost category. Ki plus 3, beautiful. HP plus 130%, and attack and defense 170%. So actually, kind of best of both worlds. It'll work really well for full power Frieza to get his passive off because you're going to be taking a bit more damage. Every damage is actually going to matter instead of actually just defending it. So I think that'll be very interesting. I really like what they did with his leader skill. I'm also very excited that Super Boo is retired finally, because no one's ever gonna run. No one, like, you'll never see Super Boo. Because he just got outclassed, he might be the worst category leader now. Now that Future Gohan got that, like, super crazy buff. So we'll have to see how he fits onto this Conquest of Fear team. I'm not sure what the actual category is made up of yet, but you can kind of use your context clues to imagine what Conquest of Fear would kind of be made up of. You know, there's going to be a lot of Frieza units. You know Boo's probably going to be in there somewhere. Hopefully we get a new King Cold or a new Chilled at some point. It's obviously not like a Wicked Bloodlines pure category, but there's obviously going to be a lot of other units in that as well. I'm very interested to see if there is a lot of just like random villains, because if we ever get new copies of like the movie villains, like Dr. Wheelo would be really cool. It'd be really cool to get a card of Garlic Jr. Those characters might be on this category, so we'll kind of see how it goes. His passive is attack and defense 100% just off the bat. Clean, clean, clean. It's what I like to see. I love it when they just do nice little buffs like that. If facing one opponent, the transformation category allies get Ki plus 2 and attack and defense plus 30%. Yeah, he's a support type unit. Hold on, we're still getting to the good part. If facing 2 or more enemies, Conquest of Fear allies get 50% attack and defense and 2 Ki. So you know how we're super impressed by the new Gohan and Vegeta awakenings for the monotype int supports? Yeah, Cooler just does that for all of the people on his team. So, and that's not even the end of his passive, by the way. No, it's not even on the end of his passive. So he has a transformation, of course. I'm not sure whether it's an active skill or whether it's just a transformation, because he does have voice acting. So I'm very confused as to what that would actually be, but let's kind of get to that. On the third turn, if facing a Pure Saiyan or Half Saiyan, there's no HP restriction. He just auto-transforms. That's so good. They need to do that kind of stuff more often. They're starting to make a lot of cards now that have these kind of weird restrictions that are very good in some circumstances. Here's the thing, though. 60%, even 70% of enemies in Dokkan, or in Dragon Ball for that matter, are Hybrid Saiyans or Pure Saiyans. So it just works out. It just works out. It's nice. It's not annoying. Like, oh, you have to be
you have to have an Android 16, you have to be 58% below on your attack and HP, and you also have to eat a giant cat and rub a fish on your nip-nops.
Like, you don't have to do any of that, okay? Or, if it's not the third turn thing, on the 6th turn, and you're facing one opponent, that's your other thing for transforming. So, he might not transform all the time, and you might be like, oh, that's really bad. I'd really suck if he just didn't transform all the time. I want him to transform. When he transforms, he gets rid of his support type passive. So it's actually not bad if he gets rid of his support type passive, or if he keeps it, I mean. So, new passive. Once he transforms, he plus 3, attack and defense 180%, so that's 80% buff that you're actually getting from his pre-transform state. He also does an additional attack with it having a medium chance to super attack, and if you're facing pure Saiyans or half Saiyan enemies, which we talked about, that's like 65% of all the enemies game, it auto crits. Mwah! Beautifully designed unit. I love this unit. Pre-transformed, his super attack is immense damage and lowers attack and defense. SA after transformed, raises attack every super attack, immense damage, and lowers defense greatly. He does so much. He's just like all around. He's gonna be in the top 5 TURs for sure. If not in the top 5 TURs, he's definitely gonna be in the running for like the top 3 like category leaders. Like, he's so good. And Wicked Bloodlines, he's gonna work perfectly on that team. He's gonna work on his own team perfectly. He's probably going to be on, I mean, he is on the Transformation Boost category. I'm very interested to see what other characters are going to be in Conquest of Fear. Obviously, as I said, a lot of Frieza units. Most likely, there's going to be a lot of other conquering units, like the Ginyu Force are probably going to be in there. Vegeta and Nappa from the Saiyan Saga are probably going to be in there. Anyone that is like after a conquest. That might mean that the AoE Raditz from, like, you know, the Extreme Intelligence one, he might actually be good now because he actually has a proper category. I think he'll be on that category, so I'm be very interested to see what his maximum attack stat and stuff like that would be. I can't wait to run this guy on a billion teams and output so much stuff. So, that being said, hope you guys have a great and fantastic day. This is Dokkan Experience, signing off for the first time, but definitely not the last time. See ya!